Mr. Painkiller. You soar over the endless field of sunflowers, feeling the breeze on your face. The melody of an Andalusian guitar fills your ears, soothing your soul. The sun warms your skin and you are in love, but you don't know the reason. From the Diary of Dr. Stephen Mephistopheles Ray. Friday, January 27th, 2023.
Writing down my dreams has always been a habit of mine. Every morning, I would update my diary with the latest details of my nocturnal adventures. Writing is more than a hobby. For me, it's a passion. But it's not my profession. I'm a doctor by trade, a psychiatrist at Bradford Royal Infirmary. Right now, I'm on holiday in Andalusia, Spain, alone and loving it. I enjoy the solitude and the scenery. I moved to the UK in 2001 from a small, forgotten town in Romania. After graduating from the University of Cluj, I ran my own private practice and collaborated with the social services and police in Bucharest. I never married or had a girlfriend, at least not a serious one. I was always a lone wolf. They are looking for prey. I love to wander in these woods at night, alone and fearless. I felt a thrill when the full moon cast its light on the ancient trees and the rocky cracks. I was not immune to fear, but I enjoyed it. I could walk for miles and miles across the hills. I also like to record the sounds of the forest and make them into eerie music, the kind that would make your skin crawl and your heart race. But something has changed in me lately. Something is wrong with my mind. Sometimes I find myself sitting on the bed, staring at the halogen heater for an hour. I don't know what to do with my life, today, tomorrow, or ever. I want to get up, but I can't. It's like I'm in a straitjacket, like some of my patients in the hospital. I think I might have catatonia, a strange disorder that affects your movements, behaviors, and emotions. As a psychiatrist for 20 years, I have witnessed many strange and horrible things that could happen to anyone. Sometimes, when you focus on something for too long, that thing becomes bigger and bigger until it devours you like a monstrous hungry crocodile. Have you ever experienced a switch of destiny with someone else? Someone like a family member, a partner, a friend, or even a stranger. Let me give you an example. You are a linguist, and your friend is a baker. You meet in a bar for a beer. You haven't seen each other for ages, and this is your only chance for the next 10 years. As life goes on, by some twist of fate and a series of unexpected events, you end up owning a successful bakery in town. One day, your friend walks in and tells you that he finished university and became an English teacher. You have switched roles with him, you see. Well, that's a mild one. But there is also a hardcore switch. Something so terrifying, so nightmarish, that I shudder to think about it. The hardcore switch usually happens to very sensitive people, altruists, and people on the edge. But it can happen to anyone, really. And I think it happened to me here in Andalusia. Please listen to my story. The first time I set foot in this city, I was captivated by a scene that stayed with me for years. On the stone stairs by the port, an old woman sat wrapped in a shawl, gazing at the boats and the rising Sunday. She never left her spot, day or night, rain or shine. Her eyes were empty, as if she had given up on life, as if she had lost someone or something precious in the water. Years later, I came back to the city, curious to see if she was still there. But she was gone. In her place, there was a man in dark sunglasses. He sat on the same stairs, facing the same direction. He smiled softly, but he never moved. He was there every morning, every evening, every hour of every day. I wondered who he was, and what he had to do with the woman. Was he her son? Had she passed away? What secrets did he conceal behind his glasses? What was he waiting for? He seemed so calm, yet so enigmatic. I returned to that place in January and found the stairs empty and deserted. A strange feeling came over me, a flash of intuition. A chilling thought that the stairs were waiting for me. No, impossible. I shook my head and smiled, and I walked away. I never went back to that place. The urge to go there vanished completely. But the longer I stayed here in this city, the more I felt lonely and isolated, as if an invisible wall separated me from the rest of the world. It was cold here, raining cats and dogs, strong blasts of the icy wind. I bought a small halogen heater. It radiated warmth and light. I liked to sit near it on the bed and stare into it. And I didn't want to go anywhere, do anything. All I wanted was to sit still and gaze into the light. It felt like I was sitting by the fireplace in a cottage in the Carpathian Hills, surrounded by a dark forest. Day after day, I spent more time with the heater. I felt no need to move anymore. There was no reason.
Saturday, January 28th, 2023.
I woke up in a cold sweat, haunted by a terrible nightmare. I was a prisoner in a mental asylum, trapped in a dark and lonely room. A loud knock on the door made me jump out of my bed. I crawled to the door, trembling with fear. Two figures entered my room, a doctor with sunglasses and an old nurse. There was something familiar about them, something sinister. They asked me how I felt. I told them about my nightmare, hoping they would help me. But they only smiled wickedly and took out a syringe.
Sunday, January 29th, 2023.
I was unable to find my diary today. But then, an assistant, the young male nurse, had brought it to me with the words that they had found it in the TV room, behind the sofa. I was feeling my heated tears entering my eyes, and it was the only bodily movement I was able to administer. I was sitting on the bed for the eternity, unable to move, staring into the black hole that was sucking me and spitting me out in the circles. Nevertheless, I was able to see the doctor wearing sunglasses strolling the steep corridor leading towards the mouth of the monstrous cathedral, together with that elderly nurse. They were chit-chatting in a language I was unable to recognize. But I knew who they really were.
Monday, January 30th, 2023.
I escaped from the hospital today. I rummaged through the bins and found some old clothes that reeked of filth. I was hungry, but I managed to beg for some food and coffee. I had only one goal in my mind: a burning desire for revenge. Something had snapped inside me, but I couldn't remember what triggered it. I knew people were liars and thieves, but I was shocked by how evil and cunning the serpent-like beings could be. It wasn't about the body or the brain. It was about the spirit that possessed them. It could be an angel or a devil. As I walked past the mosque, I heard the prayers and felt a strange attraction to that atmosphere. I felt crazy, so mad, that my head was about to explode. But at the same time, I felt enlightened and free. I was not afraid of death anymore. I needed to find a place to pee, which was hard to do in the middle of the city. But then I saw it, an abandoned courtyard. I entered it and found what I was looking for. An old samurai sword in its scabbard. And I knew exactly what to do with it.
Tuesday, January 31st, 2023.
I'm locked up in a cell. The police have been interrogating me all day long. The problem is, I don't know who I am. They accuse me of killing a psychiatrist and an old nurse with a samurai sword. I don't remember anything, but they gave me this diary and said it was mine. They don't believe me when I say I've lost my memory. But I really don't know how I got here or who I am. It's so weird. Why did they yell at me? Why did they hit me? I didn't say anything. To them, I just kept repeating, I don't know, I don't know. It's cold here in the cell and all I want is to sleep. I want to sleep forever. Please.